Good morning, farmers. As you can see, that harvester is still going away in that field. I did not let him harvest. Well, he did harvest in the night, but I didn't sit there and let him finish. I just teleported back to the farm and jumped into bed and woke up and yep, he's still going. So that's why the money's still going up. I have hired in the other field that was being harvested. That one didn't finish. I got a guy over there plowing that field. Guy, gal, whatever. And we're cultivating this one first this morning. Only because I should be able to hire a worker to come seed this field when we get done. So I'm trying to get the fields done that I can hire someone to seed it in. Actually, you can kind of see straight ahead of us that guy just over that little shrub bush right there plowing away. It looks like our corn has jumped up to stage 2. Just noticed that myself. At least in that field it did. So I'm going to start by cultivating this one, obviously, because I'm already in it. You see that. I'm going to cultivate that one right behind us there. Now these two fields had lupine in them, so I may put pea in them this time. Sounds like a plan. Like I said, I really don't want to do canola because we'll be doing so much canola when September comes and then early in the season. But last I knew, that harvester over there only had 25% of the field left, I think. But that is a 2.5 hectare field. But since the last episode when we started harvesting these fields, we're up to like 46,000 euros made so far. And we got 3 cornfields left down here, plus the big field which has barley in it. And hopefully that field will be ready in about 3 or 4 weeks, I think. I hope everyone enjoyed the last episode. It was rather kind of a long one. I think it was like 46 minutes or something like that. Sometimes those long videos don't do so well though, because they usually like the 25 to 30 minute long videos usually. But that one just came out to be that long, so I just left it there. But some people like those long videos. Sometimes I like them when I do like farming sim, play farming sim and I'm not recording. I like the longer videos myself to watch as I'm playing along, per se. Well, hopefully we can get about 4 of these fields cultivated today. And I was going to say, the money stopped, but must be the harvester's getting close to being done because the money stopped going up there for a second. So he must be trying to circle around, trying to get that last little bit in the field. But all that means is when he's done, I'll stop here for a second and hire someone to plow that nice 2.5 hectare field so we don't have to do it. Plus it just speeds along the process quite a bit. I mean, before the helper system, I probably would have been able to harvest about 3 fields yesterday. I'd still be harvesting these fields today. But here we are cultivating ones that are already plowed. So the only thing that we really need in this game is either being able to buy cow slurry, manure, whatever it is we're actually using cow slurry. I don't know why it says manure, because if it was manure, we have to use a manure spreader, not a liquid slurry spreader. But that's beside the point. I mean, we're feeding them straw anyway, so yeah, because I'm trying to figure out now when to use the cow slurry. Having this many fields, we don't have enough in storage as it is. I got about a tank. We filled up one tanker, or I filled up one tanker. That wasn't shown in any of my videos, but we got one tanker full, and I think the other one's maybe like 2/3 of the way full. So down here, I may just do artificial fertilizer again. And try to save some of the liquid slurry for up there, because all that means by doing it by the fields closer to the farm, it just saves us time from running back and forth to refilling it all the time instead of running, I don't want to say way down here, it's not like this is far, but in game time it does take up a lot of your time during the day. So I do think that guy has finished, which he has. And it always seems to leave like 0.07%, and I'm not going to worry about that, but hire someone for $300 to cultivate that field. 2.5 hectare field. $300, yeah, please. Go right ahead. Be my guest. These workers has saved us down here probably like, I don't know, 3 days of work. Probably more than that. And shortly I'll hire one to sow this field with peas. But it is going to be nice when we come back in a few months' time to harvest these fields now that we can cultivate them. One thing I noticed, as you can see the lines, well, hopefully on YouTube you can see the lines in the field going this way and that way. That's from me plowing the field, I don't know when, for a job. So yesterday we hired a worker to plow the field, which he went in circles, and you can't see where he plowed the field in circles. It shows my old plow marks. So it's kind of like when I hired someone to cultivate the field over there. They cultivated the field, but it doesn't take out the furrows from the plow marks that I made previously. And it also looks like when you hire someone to plow it, they don't leave furrow marks from the way they plow it. So it's like they do the work. It shows it on the field. I mean, like, click on this, it says 100% plowed. So it's almost like when they plow it, they don't leave furrow marks. When they cultivate it, they don't get rid of old furrow marks from the plow. So in the future, if I hire someone to plow the field and they cultivate it now that we're getting rid of our old furrow marks from, like I said, who knows when, in theory there should be no bumps in the field when we take the harvester across them. But also, like I said, I don't want to fall into hiring workers all the time. It's just a new thing that's out now, so it's fun. You get a lot of work done a lot faster when you have that many fields to harvest at once. And if you've watched my series long enough, you know I've said before, I don't mind plowing. It's just plowing my own fields. Plowing other people's fields for money and social points doesn't bother me at all, but when I gotta plow my own fields, I don't know, it just seems like I can't get the job done quick enough. So like I said, we're going to cultivate this field here, move over to that one there, and then we'll move across the street and do that one right there. And then I got the wife's tractor over there with the plow already on it, where I can't hire workers for that field. He's working away in that field, putting some seed down, which is peas. And we have moved on to this field. It's a double bonus really when you hire them down here to sow the field. I think it cost me just shy of 300 euros to have them sow the field with pea. For one, you don't pay for the seed. Two, you don't pay for the fuel. Three, you're not wasting, I don't want to say wasting your time, you're not using up your time in the day to do it. So it all works out down here. And before the helper system, no way in heck would you be able to, the day before, you know, have that field full, you know, full of harvestable lupine, to within 24 hours planting seed back in it. Because even if you were to harvest it, then you had to plow it and cultivate it. Yeah, I guess it's doable, but that's the only field you're working in. So you can see the same thing in this field. We hired a guy to plow this field as well. But the only plow marks you see are yeah, I can't ever say that word sometimes. Furrow marks. I want to say plow marks. Yeah, let's stick with that. Are the ones that are straight up and down, not in a circle like the worker does. So, when, as far as I can tell, when you hire a worker, they don't leave. They'll do the work in the field, but they won't leave the plow marks, or when they cultivate it, it's not going to flatten the land out back to its original form. But as you saw when we were harvesting on one field, it was so bumpy. We have to cultivate these fields to get them flat again, which I don't mind cultivating the fields just to get them flat again. But as you do know, I would like a little bit bigger cultivator. Now I do know that this is going way back when, in the winter time, when this game was coming out in Steam. They did say when this game hits release, it will be moddable. So, but I don't know how big of a following this game's going to have, where people are going to mod tractors and utilities for tractors and implements for tractors or whatnot. Hey dude, don't miss any spots over there. Now also, when we go to harvest these fields again in 2 months, we should make more of a profit, because none of the fields we did yesterday in harvesting were cultivated. And all the fields we did yesterday only had one, they were all artificially fertilized. And they will be artificially fertilized again. They won't be sprayed though, I don't believe. But just by cultivating them, the production should go up decently. I have never done the time to see how much it changes per field by if you don't plow to cultivate, and in other words, doing certain steps and skipping certain steps, how much you gain or lose. I always just figured, well, I'll plow, cultivate, and fertilize to the best that I can. Because back then, that's why we only kept the original, I don't want to say original, but our first section of fields, which was the 17 or 18 fields. But of course, with a wonderful help from the helpers, that's why we expanded to where we are now. And the only reason why I haven't expanded more is I do like doing jobs for the people, getting the social points in our downtime. As you saw in the previous episodes, I was skipping a few days but doing some work off camera by plowing some fields and earning up social points. I mean, I guess every day I could just go in and do house inspections day after day after day. But that gets pretty mundane, and I like to mix up by plowing other people's fields rather than just doing house inspections. There's another field of corn that we planted and cultivated ourselves. That one is plowed and cultivated. Yeah, the 3 corn fields that we got down here, along with the barley field, is plowed and cultivated. The barley field is the big field, the 7.5 hectare field. And the only reason why I put barley in it instead of anything else, I want to see how many bales of straw we can get out of that field. I think we're going to be making a few trips up to the sell point with trailers of 39 bales on it. I sort of made a guess of around 200 bales. So if you have a guess how many bales I can expect from that 7.5 hectare field, leave a comment below to see how many you think it will be. And you'd probably be spot on if you already done it once and you already know. I'm only going on because the only fields I've really done for straw is the 2 fields next to the barn. You are destroying cops that group here. That's not me. Must be one of my helpers getting to the center point. I'm gonna guess it's that first guy I hired to plow. So he must be just about done over there. Yeah, so I was saying the only fields I've ever really done straw in are the 2 fields right next to the barn that you start. The 2 fields that you start with when you get the game. And I usually get about 2 trailer, oh well, I'd say about a trailer and a half to trailer and 3/4. So that's pretty close to, let's just say 65 bales, somewhere in there. And those 2 fields I don't even think would be 2 hectares, and that's 7.5. So I was saying, okay, let's just say 200 bales. That's what I'm going with. Now the only thing else I wish the helper system would do is let you know when one of your workers have finished. Because as we found out yesterday, and someone else made a comment on the store page on Steam, that you can only have 4 workers at a time. And I think when I tried it yesterday, I could only get 4 workers at a time. So it would be kind of nice to get a heads up that one of your workers have finished, so you can hire a worker to do something else. Not that I can hire a worker to do anything else at the moment, because we need to cultivate these fields ourselves, or it's not going to go back, the land will go back to its original form. Basically, that's all that a cultivator really does in this game, is just, first of all, destroy the crops or anything in its path, as you know. But what it does to the land itself is it reforms it back to its original state. As the sun starts to set on another day on the farm. This field was bigger than I thought when I started it, and then I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, this is 1.66 hectares. Alright. But, you know, it's work that's got to be done. So I'm pretty sure that guy's done seeding that field and the field that we just cultivated as well. The guy that was plowing that field there is done. I don't think we got any more workers. Nope. And this is the last field that we got to cultivate today anyways. It's getting to be 7 o'clock at night, somewhere around there. So basically, what that leaves us for tomorrow, and I don't think I can get it all done in one day either, is we got to plow and cultivate that one field over there, cultivate the other field more towards the road, and we got to cultivate that big field up there. That's why I'm saying I don't think I can get that all done in one day, because really all I've done today is cultivate 3 fields. Thank you for the helpers who how many fields did we get plowed today? I think we had 2 helpers plow and 2 helpers seed. course, that doesn't count the helper that was still running, harvesting that field up there as well. So yes, a lot got done today, but as for what we did, we just cultivated 3 fields. Well, I don't want to say just cultivated 3 fields. That's, you know, all day's work. We don't take breaks on this farm. I mean, I do. I hit the escape button once in a while and just get up and walk around for a bit. Usually it takes me about an hour and a half to record an episode. That's how long a day on the farm takes. If you work from 6 a.m. to just say 8, 9 o'clock at night, it's almost an hour and a half of recording time. And then I gotta edit that down to, well, I try to get around 30 minutes. Sometimes it's almost spot on without even trying. I don't know how that happens, but but then you get episodes like yesterday where it was like 46, 7 minutes, something like that long. Like, I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. Sometimes I can ramble on forever, and other days it's just like, yep, here we are cultivating or plowing again. So once we finish this little section right here, we'll get out of the field here. So this field was soy. So now I think we're going to start doing some lupine on this field. I did try a couple times hiring someone to plow this field while I was doing that, and no one really seemed interested. So I could try moving my tractor. There's a helper to seed the field that we just hired him for, obviously. Thank you, scaffolding. Yeah, as far as I can see, it doesn't matter if your tractor's in the way, because yeah. So basically this field here and this field here, I cannot get anyone to come work. I can understand this one because that's a big field. This one here, I'm not quite sure, but so far I've been able to hire everyone for these fields here. So on and so forth. So there he is. If you build it, he will come. Where did he go? Did he disappear in the cornfield? Or is he trying to find a way around these buildings? Where the heck did he go? Is he going to the cornfield? Yep, like running through a real cornfield. You can't see crap. There he is. Interesting take of how he's going to do the field, but as long as he gets to 100%, how do these guys do over here? So see, he got that to 100%. He got that to 100%. When I sow a field, I get it to like 99%. I got down to 99. Jeez, I did pretty good on that field, actually. That field I got 97%, but that's a small field. You missed a little section there. It does add up percentage-wise. But you do you, fella. You do you. So this guy, yep, plot 100%. So we got to cultivate this field. We'll probably start tomorrow by plowing this field. Wow, that's almost 2 hectares. That's a big... These fields down here don't look that big. I think because you compare it to other sizes of field around, so they all look relatively meh until you scroll over it. Like up here, you look at these fields like, oh, these are decent sized fields, and these are not even a hectare. That's why at some point I may do these fields now, knowing What I may have to do is save the game, buy them, see if I can hire helpers here. Because now knowing that when they harvest, they don't really have to drive all the way to the sell point. They just sell right away. So my biggest concern was when I bought it, if I had to work on these fields here, the amount of time it was going to take me to drive all the way to the sell point to sell grain and come back, it would take forever to work on these fields. But you can see that's, that's almost 6 hectares, almost 4, 2.5, 3. These are good size fields down here. Well, it'd be nice if they had like another sell point. I don't know, let's say like right in here, maybe. Because you got these fields here, and you can. And it'd be nice to have like competition. I think 2 more sell points, maybe one up here. And maybe one down here somewhere, and they can compete with one another. I hate to say like Farming Simulator does, where, prices go up and down. These prices sort of seem to stay steady. Just like here. But we've been through that before. Let's, take the magic bus back to... Oh, I just got to realize, yeah, I got no tractors in the field now. Down at the farm. To teleport to. I must be tired. Or hungry, because I can't run. But, yeah, that's going to do it for today on the farm. Like I said, we cultivated 3 fields. And the workers got 2 fields plowed and 2 fields sowed and working on another one. Why not have some shrooms? There, now I can probably run. So as for our liquid slurry, like I was saying before, the tanker up on the hill should be full. If you watched previously, I screwed up once where I thought the tanker up on the hill was full and it wasn't. This is 45% full, and we barely got anything in the slurry tanker right now. And in a couple days, we do have rain coming, so we have to keep that in mind as well. And I think, see, that'd be the 3rd, the 4th. The 4th is when these might be ready. But obviously, we won't harvest in the rain. And the one thing I really wish the devs would get fixed at some point as well is the combine harvester staying the color that you paint it rather than reverting to its default color when you reload the game. But that's a small thing. Having the helpers was way more important than the paint job on the harvester. And I'm sure the wife is... Oh, she's still cooking. Oh, it's not quite 8 o'clock yet. Alright. Well, I can't talk to her anyways. When she's cooked, she's busy. But that's going to do it for today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.